hire Thibs was some of the main reasons why when NBA players took a poll about a coach they don't want to play for, they selected this man. They said it was this guy. Oh no, we don't want to play with Thibs. He's going to burn our knees out.
Finish him.
He's going to burn our knees out. We don't want to play with that guy. Nah, man, we're going to have 17-hour practices. We ain't playing with that guy. He leans into his veterans too much. He don't play no young guys. If you just got drafted, don't go there. He ain't going to play you. So Tom Thibodeau was now met with the front office, and because they're friends, that communication was free and open. It was just like, yo, come on, man. If you come in here, you're going to have to be able to listen to some of the suggestions that we put forth. We're going to give you the autonomy. You got a contract. It'll be 5 years. We're going to let you cook, but you got to listen to us when we shopping as well. And Tom Thibodeau agreed to that. But something else that I'm super proud of with Tom Thibodeau is he hired a coach like Mike Woodson to be on his team. A former head coach, but a head coach nonetheless to be on your staff. It's important to have other voices in the circle who've been there, who can see the floor as well as you and give input. He hired Johnny Bryant. He was able to recruit Johnny Bryant, a young and up-and-coming, great reputation as a future coach in the NBA. We went out and plucked him from Utah. Like, these are all ingredients to a main dish that's not yet ready. It's not yet ready. We're in the final stages. We're in like the last hour to hour and a half before the meal is completely cooked. But those are all the ingredients that you have to shop for, and you have to start mixing up before you even put in a pot to put into the oven. Both of them did very well in terms of formulating teams of coaches and front office personnel that helped put us in this position to be successful. And all of that came out of that July 2020 decision to hire Tom Thibodeau as the next coach. Once again, don't know if he's going to get to the mountaintop with us, but we know that he's going to get us most of the way up the mountaintop. Now, how is he going to do that? I'm glad you asked that question. So with the front office, everybody knew that Tom Thibodeau came with his tenets. So these are Thibs' tenets. This is what you know, that when he said, I want a roster that's going to help me win in this league. This is what I need to see as skill sets that are in the members that are on the roster for my New York Knicks. 1, they need to know how to rebound the basketball. 2, they need to be willing to play defense. 3, we need to have them commit low turnovers. 4, they need to know how to share the basketball. 5, they need to be willing to pass and penetrate. And 6, they need to be willing to utilize the paint. Whether that's passing the basketball or passing within the lane, or hitting your layups, or being flexible and skilled around the basket, they need to know how to utilize the paint. Floaters are included on that as well. All right? So everybody knows that these are Thibs' tenets. And when you think about it right now, just fast forwarding and looking at the roster, with this in mind, rebounding, playing defense, having low turnovers, sharing the basketball, utilizing the paint, passing and penetration. We look at the people who are on the team. Shout out to Knicks Movement. Love this picture, so I utilized it. So shout out to the members of this team. We got Mitch, who we drafted and who we cultivated. We have JB, who we picked up last offseason. We got Julius and RJ, who came in together. One drafted, one signed as a free agent. And these are 4 of the members of our team that we're going to look at when we think about what Thibs' tenets are for success. And what I did was I pulled up most of the roster. So when we look at Randall, you think, okay, Randall brings scoring. He checks off the box with the rebounding. He does check off the box with the paint penetration minus the spinning and sending. And he also is capable of passing the basketball. All right. When you think of RJ Barrett, you know RJ Barrett, one of his main skills is downhill, attacking the basket, penetrating. All right. Also, he does have an ability as well to share the basketball. And lastly, RJ scores. May not be through shooting all the time, but RJ is a scorer. We look at Grimes. Grimes brings defense. He brings the ability to penetrate the basketball, but he also brings shooting as well. Jalen Brunson as our point guard, probably one of the most complete decisions in terms of bringing him to our roster. Jalen Brunson brings low turnover at the point guard position, 100% important. He brings the ability to score. He brings paint penetration and the ability to pass. Mitchell Robinson, we know, plays defense. He uses the paint. He rebounds the basketball. And for the most part, he keeps turnovers low because he has a high percentage of finishing around the basket when he gets the basketball. Then we have Obi Toppin. And this is what's going to cause some questions. When we talk about who will be here for the long term and who won't be, these are some of the things that we got to consider, because how many of these players have most of the tenets that Tom Thibodeau asked for? When I think of Obi Toppin, I think he shares the basketball and he's good in transition. Now, we talked about Thibs like in rebounding. Does Obi bring that? No. We talk about scoring. Does Obi bring that consistently? We really don't know because he hasn't been given a sufficient shot. We talk about passing the basketball. We talk about paint penetration. Does Obi do all of that? Any of that? So those are things to kind of consider. When we talk about Jay Hart, he brings defense. He rebounds the basketball at the guard position. He shares the basketball and he penetrates. Okay? He penetrates. So those are things to kind of consider as well. When we talk about Emmanuel Quickley, he scores, he plays defense, he penetrates the paint, and he also, when given the opportunity, low turnovers. Okay? Ihart plays defense, he rebounds the basketball, he plays in the paint as well. We look at Deuce. Deuce brings defense and he shares the ball at the point guard position. That may or may not be enough. And then we have Jericho Sims, who all of us we know is pretty raw. But he brings defense and he brings paint play. Okay?